Hi, I'm Sarah Forster, Deputy News Editor here at The National, and this is A Closer Look. Our chance to give you the opportunity to get a behind-the-scenes look at one of our stories from this week as we talk directly to the reporter. Now, it's been 6 months since the Bright Lights of Expo went out with a bang at the spectacular closing ceremony that happened on March 31st. All has been fairly quiet since then, but we did know that something called Expo City Dubai was on the horizon. We were expecting a launch date of October 1st. However, Expo fans were treated to a bit of a surprise at the start of this month. We sent our reporter, Suhail Akram, down to find out more.
We're here at the Expo City. The site popular for Expo 2020 Dubai is opening after 5 months when the Expo 2020 Dubai closed on 31st March. Well, some of the spectacles are already open to the public. The mobility pavilion, the sustainability pavilion, and the famous observation wheel, the garden in the sky, are opening to the public. You can take Dubai Metro, and there are thousands of parking spots here. Dubai Metro being the cheapest to come here and the easiest. And there are buggies here which can take you around and show you the pavilions that have stayed and the pavilions that have already been packed away to their home countries. Well, if you're visiting the mobility and the sustainability pavilion, you have to pay 50 dirham per adult. You can buy the tickets from ticket kiosks here and online. But for children under 12, it's free, and also free for the people of determination, people with disabilities. For the garden in the sky, the ticket is for 30 dirhams per adult. So yeah, get yourselves here, your families here, and enjoy the spectacles and the sights here. It's free for touring. So what are you waiting for?
Well, Suhail has hot-footed it back to the office here in Abu Dhabi and joins me now. Welcome back.
Hey Sarah, how you doing?
Good, yeah. So we both worked down at Expo a lot during those 6 months, and we got to experience it in full swing.
We did.
It was a buzz. It was like a 6-month party, right? I can't imagine what it must be like now, but you were down there, as we just saw. Tell me what it felt like, you know, in person. Did all the memories come flooding back, or does it feel like a whole new place?
Well, to be honest, of course, it was like an extraordinary thing. I mean, we witnessed, you know, the Expo 2020. This was a soft launch on 1st September. I was there. To be honest, it was subdued because, of course, it's not, you know, the exhibition. It's going to be a city now. But the thing is, the people started trickling in through the course of the day. And the first thing they said was, you know, we have a strong attachment with this. We're feeling nostalgic about it. And then I met 2 sets of people. Those who live in the country who wanted to like get the first opportunity to see the site for themselves. And then I met some of them who were like visiting the country, tourists. And they said that they had heard of the Expo before, and then they wanted to see what the site is all about, what the site has to offer. Yeah.
I know that a lot of people worked at the Expo. I mean, lots of people visited, but also lots of people worked there. And there will now be people working there again. Did you speak to any of them?
I mean, yes, I spoke to a bunch of people. I spoke to 2 buggy drivers. One of them had worked as a buggy driver at the Expo before, so she's like pretty familiar with the site and all. And after Expo, she didn't have a job. Now she's got a job, and she was pretty thrilled about it, saying that I know the city well. She took me around. She knew the shortcuts through the pavilions and stuff. So that was that. And then I met another buggy driver this is his first job here. And he was like, I had heard of Expo, and now I'm working here. I didn't get to see the Expo, but I'm excited that, you know, like I can see the site for myself now, drive around, and yeah, so it was pretty exciting for them.
So he has a lot of side streets to learn, basically, to find his way from like A to B as fast as possible.
Exactly.
So that's the people that work there. Obviously, it was the first day of the launch. There were people heading, like literally day one, let's go, get your kids, get your shoes on, get the sun cream, get the water, get down there. Did you speak to any of those people?
I did. I mean, I met a bunch of families, and here's the thing, Sarah, and we have witnessed it before. The Expo site is such an expansive, stretched out site, you know, running over kilometers. The old formulas still stand, which is wear comfortable shoes if you're visiting the site. If your families, weekends probably are the best time to visit. And metro is still the cheapest option to go there. There are still, of course, taxis and other options, but metro is still the best and the coolest. Coolest literally, because, you know, like...
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember, definitely. So we've got... This was like a soft launch. So we've got a couple of pavilions open, we've got some food trucks, we've got the Sky Garden, but as I'm aware, not the water feature.
The water feature isn't open yet, but it will be open at some point in October when it's the official launch. And then there are other pavilions which will be open. Women's pavilion would be open. And here's an interesting thing. As you visit the site now, there's still some dismantling happening of some of the pavilions which are being sent home, the country pavilions. But then there are others which are still there and looking beautiful. The UAE pavilion, the Saudi pavilion, Egypt and Morocco. And in fact, I still saw the colorful facade of the Pakistani pavilion. It's still there. Yeah. We don't know yet if it's standing, but it's there. And similarly, the water feature that you talked about, one of the most popular features. And I didn't know this, it's been called Surreal. So Surreal will be opening there in October as well.
It is artwork, isn't it? So it should have a name rather than just being called the water feature, you know?
Exactly.
People won't expect it, you know, to be what it is if they just call it the water feature. So we are expecting a few more things to open on October 1, which was the initial launch date. But what about Expo City Dubai, you know, in the long term? What's the plan for this area on the whole?
I think it's going to be something amazing. We have heard from Expo officials before, and they have been reiterating it, that, you know, it's going to be a city. The country's first walkable city or a pedestrianized city, a 15-minute walk from anywhere to anywhere. Going to be here, hospitals, schools, you know, and it's going to have houses for residents, those who want to like live there. It's going to house companies' headquarters. We do now know that technology firm Siemens is already sort of, you know, moving in there, putting the headquarters there. We know that more than 1,200 their employees will be living close to the Al Wasl Dome, you know, which is amazing, right? Living there. And then it's going to be a global destination for events, and Dubai, as a city, we know, you know, it knows how to do things in terms of like big events, you know, COPs of the world or the festivals. So they're going to be happening there.
Yes, exactly. So Dubai Exhibition Centre is absolutely enormous, and COP28 is going to be held in Dubai Expo City. So hopefully, you know, organisers across the world are going to think,
hey, here's a site, let's explore.
Here's a place we could hold our exhibition, right?
Exactly.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Suhail, for coming in and giving us this closer look at what Expo City Dubai is like right now and what it's like going to be like in the future, and giving our viewers that extra insight to the story.
Well, thank you so much. You know, like it's a place so close to the heart of the city, so I would recommend everybody to visit. But before I wrap up, Sarah, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
We were both there throughout the Expo 6 months. How do you feel? Are you wanting to go back?
I will let you in on a secret, Suhail. When I left the site for the last time before Expo closed, I was very emotional. And as I headed towards the gates to go and get the shuttle back to my car, I almost didn't want to leave. There were so many people having so much fun. I didn't want to leave the party, but you know, everything's got to end sometime, right? So I am very excited to go back down there. And even just see the parks, you know, they were beautiful, and just walk around and see the structures, the architecture of those. I mean, 80% of the structures I think are still there. So it's definitely still going to be something worth seeing.
Absolutely.
Even without all the, you know, flashing lights and music and everything.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, thank you very much for coming in. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you so much.
And catch us next time for a closer look at the National.